we've got someone who I guess is killing time in the bubble, right?
Yep.
A 3-game sweep of the Rangers. Carolina, they got the party started on Saturday. The first game out, big win, set the tone, and now they are into the playoffs, the round of 16. And, man, did they look good through 3 games. Here is the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes, Justin Williams. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you?
We're doing well.
We're doing good, man. How are things? You got bubble life. You're moving on. You got beat up by Ryan Strome. Like, how are things? Tell us about everything. Tell us about it, Willie.
Maybe you should get to the bubble here too,
Let me just admit one thing. He's tougher than you thought he was.
Everybody's tougher than me. Let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to pick your spots. I didn't exactly pick a heavyweight, but he picked me. So anyway, either way.
Well, at any point over the past 4 months, did you think you'd be in a fight 3 minutes into the resumption of play?
Not especially though. Certainly with nobody. It's funny because when you get in a fight or something big happens, you expect applause or the crowd to go crazy or something like that. It's just like dead quiet except for your teammates cheering you on. It's quite an experience.
What happened? Like, did you hit him or cross-check him or something and he said, let's fight? Or how did that even go down?
No, I mean, listen, sometimes I get a little lippy out there. So he was complaining about a call, and he was getting a call anyway. So I told him to stop complaining, and he told me, let's go. And I said, okay. I mean, it's good. It's the same. It's been the same for years upon years. That's the way it's like there. Someone says, let's go. The other says, okay.
Willie, take us inside, how, I guess, unique it has been so far, playing with no fans. You guys were the first game. I think it was a noon start. Like, everything about it was just a little bit off kilter. Like, how did you guys motivate yourselves? What was said before the game? And once you got rolling, how was the adjustment with no fans and basically, how you guys were able to unfold 3 big wins?
It's just such a unique circumstance, and then you're there before the game, and you obviously got to create your own energy, and we certainly had no problem manufacturing adrenaline, manufacturing just going to get it because you're playing for the Stanley Cup, and I think that eventually just gets to you when you get on the ice, like. You're still playing for the Stanley Cup. It's a little bit weird when you're on the bench and you look around, but when you're on the ice, it's really the same. The adrenaline's fine. It's tough for them, and someone's trying to take something from you, and that's when the competitiveness comes out in you, and you see, I guess, what you saw during our series. I thought it was a pretty hard-hitting series. There wasn't a lot of space out there, and fortunately for us, we came out on top.
With Justin Williams of the Carolina Hurricanes, again, they get past the Rangers in 3. They're into the round of 16. So what now in the bubble? Like, how does this adjust your schedule? Do you have a lot of time to kill? How do you kill time in the bubble? What do you guys do now that you're through? Yeah, you got golf simulators. Can you go and golf? Can you leave the bubble and golf? What's the story?
I mean, I never really. I mean, I didn't go to college, so I don't know what that's like, but it kind of feels like that's what it would be. You go to practice and then you just spend time with your teammates. It's just nonstop spending time with your teammates. You finish, you're like, all right, guys, what do you want to do today? You want to go to BMO Field? You want to play some cards in the dressing room or in the lounge? You want to go play some mini putt downstairs or there's a couple golf simulators down there. We played that last night too. So I mean, listen, guys certainly find some time to get together, and I think the closer you are as a team, I think the better off you are here. And we've got a really close team.
How weird is it to be rubbing shoulders with, I don't know, is there other team in your hotel or other teams, like just seeing other guys? Were you with the Rangers in the same hotel, or what is that experience like?
Yeah, I used to stay at this hotel years upon years ago when I played in Philly my first few years, and it's a little bit darker than the Hotel X, and you got these big ballrooms, and each ballroom is kind of designated for a team, and so you pass the Rangers team meal and on the way to your team meal, and I mean you see each other. I mean sometimes you can't really make out who they are because everyone's got masks on. You're like, who was that? And you just don't know. But there's just guys that you see around, and it's different. But we're making the most of it, and we're playing for the Stanley Cup. Who the heck cares?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the appropriate attitude. And you guys, you were a series that was being discussed a lot, and quite frankly, there were a lot of people that were pushing the Rangers because they came on so hot before
Not
the
O-Dog,
shutdown.
though. Not O-Dog. I know you wouldn't do that.
Oh, it was North Carolina.
I did pick you. I did.
Yeah,
pick
he did.
He took a hunch off me.
I know you did. I know.
Yeah. He's on board with you guys, and listen, he called it. He said you guys you're well coached. You got a system. You got talent that maybe doesn't get enough love. Guys like Aho and Svechnikov. And last year you guys went on a great run. You made it to the conference final. How would you compare your team this year to the one from a year ago?
I mean, to be honest, we really, I mean, you guys are the media. When I say you guys, people want your opinion, and people are going to pick based on what they've seen, right? And what they saw was the Rangers beat us 4 straight in the regular season, and that's what they judge their opinions on. But we just roll our eyes at that. I mean, that gives you a little bit of drive too. Also, when people count you out, and we proved people wrong last year, and we're planning on proving people wrong again this year. We have no problem with that. We're going to earn everything we got, and that's as O-Dog knows, that's Roddy's motto. And with these big signs up that say "earn it," and we don't expect anything given to us.
Bryan just mentioned Svechnikov and Aho. I mean, you've played for a long time. You've seen different players, Doughty, Kopitar, guys in Philly. How good are these guys? I mean, they're just dominant out there every time they touch the puck.
It really seemed to get to another level these past few games. It was quite a show that top line put on, and you obviously need everybody, but
they get it
you
done.
You don't necessarily need everybody when those two are really, really buzzing around and creating all those opportunities. And I mean, they played great. Every time they're out there, they seemed like something would happen. And Aho was really taking it to the next level. And Svechnikov, for being so young, you try to challenge him, and he seems to just come back every time with flying colors. And you can see him. I don't know if you watched the game yesterday or how much you watched of it, but he got absolutely crushed in the first period by Smith, and that just fueled him even more. Some guys go the other way and be like, oh, man, I don't know if I want to play this anymore. And some guys just dig deeper and bring the rest out, and that just made him angry. And you don't really want to make him angry. He's the whole package.
Willie, I thought your goaltending was fantastic, and obviously, I wasn't sure if Roddy was going to just roll with Mrazek, and I don't want to say it was a bit of a surprise start for me, anyways, of Reimer going yesterday, and he was brilliant, especially in that sequence in the second period. But where are you guys at with your goaltending? I think they've done a very good job, but they may not be, Frederik Andersen or Carey Price as far as the marquee guys, but they've done a good enough job. Do you guys have the confidence in that tandem and in both of them, or is there one guy that you lean towards?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right? It's kind of what we're all about, right? Just a little chip on the shoulder, and they'll have a little chip on their shoulder too, from hearing those things.
Right.
Thinking that we don't have the best goaltending duo. I mean, we were up at Real Sports the other day, having a team meal, and I think something, obviously you can't get away from the media coverage on TV because you're at Real Sports, and up came a sheet of best goaltending tandems left in the NHL, and there they were around the bottom, and that's only a little bit. So we have confidence in both our guys. We are confident in both of our guys, and we had no business winning that game if it wasn't for Reimer in those first 2 periods. But he gave us an opportunity to do it, and he was phenomenal. And that's how it was, and that's what you got to have in playoffs, right? You're not going to have your best all the time, and when things go awry, I mean, he was there yesterday every step of the way.
With Justin Williams of the Carolina Hurricanes, in terms of you trying to figure out who you're going to play next, I mean, it's totally undetermined. We got to wait to see the seeding of the 4 teams: Philly, Boston, Tampa, Washington. Do you allow yourself to get caught up in that and tracking it like it's a tournament? Like, it might feel nostalgic. It's like a Pee-wee tournament. You don't know who you're going to play and what the bracket will look like. Or do you just try to avoid it as much as possible, and when they tell you who you're going to play, that's who you're going to play?
Yeah, I mean, you look at obviously we're going to play one of the top 4 teams that are playing their round robin right now. And I'm actually watching the, Tampa Bay Boston game right now. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. You have to beat great teams on the way. We obviously played Washington and Boston both last year. Obviously would like another crack at either one of them. But, either team is going to be so hard, and it's going to be an awesome series, and we plan on hopefully answering the bell and gaining on the momentum that we created last year.
Willie, I kept thinking after the first win, did you guys maybe talk about it internally doing your little storm surge? Because I was, honest to God, I got to be honest, I was waiting for it, because I thought that would be, I mean, your group is a bunch of characters. You're a tight team, you just mentioned, and I almost felt like you guys were going to do it, but was it talked internally and you guys shot it down, or what was the thought process?
No, we never thought about it actually at all. I mean, we didn't do anything last year in playoffs. Also, playoffs I feel is just a different time for it, and regular season is obviously important. But
right.
We didn't do it in playoffs last year, so I didn't really think about it. But it did cross my mind when we were leaving the first game. I was like, am I supposed to do something right now? But we just got off the ice, and that was that. So, some unique situations for everybody, but no, that wasn't something we actually thought about.
Well, we'll let you go and continue to enjoy your time in the bubble. You're from just up the 401. Any family members text you and say, can you come downstairs and see us on front? Like, is that even crossing the text chat or what? Like, I could see that, like an uncle being like, I'm coming downtown. Why don't we meet at Starbucks? You're like, we're not allowed to do that. Like, we can't leave the bubble right now.
Yeah, I've got some friends about a month ago saying, like, so how does this work? Did you come over for a barbecue? It's not happening. It ain't happening. But, I don't know. It's really weird. Obviously my family being an hour and a bit down the road, not being able to see them. So, hey, we'll see.
Keep rolling in there. Great start for you guys. We look forward to seeing where you take it from here. Always appreciate you finding time for us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Love coming on.
There's Justin Williams
from the
Carolina Hurricanes. Loves coming on. Nice. Sticks up for his team, man. Lets people know if you're not. I took the Rangers. He let me have it for that. Reimer and Mrazek, go ahead.
Noodles, was he talking about your goalie list?
Yeah, I had them, I think, at 13 out of 16. But
that's reasonable, based on who they are as goalies. Listen, but that doesn't mean that they're going to lose.
That's all I was thinking
games,
about while you were saying that. I was like, I think Noodles did a list because he's.
It was my list. I would imagine it was probably my list that they were watching on that preview show. But you know what? Good on them if they use that as motivation. Good on them. Like, they're both good goaltenders, and James Reimer's I know James. I don't know Peter, but James is a fantastic person. But I also have to, take emotion out of it and take a look at, weigh out the factors. Where were they as far as expected goals against? How are they, is there a clear-cut starter? I can't.
It's your list. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly, and I've got to respect the process throughout it all. I love Devin Dubnyk. Guess where I had him on the list? 16th out of 16.
He's not even on the ice.
Well, I know. Stalock's playing. But that's what I'm saying.